One time when I was with the Marines in 29 Palms, and I was walking between batteries of 511 artillery, I got lost. And it was a terrifying experience to be lost at night in a desert. My name is Dr. Bill Payne. I am the pastor of First Methodist Church in Live Oak. I want to read you something from Psalm 139. David understands this issue. He says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the morning and go to the most remote part of the earth, sea, even there, your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast." Now listen to this. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. When I was in that situation, I thought I had to find my own way, and I couldn't see which way to go. And there was nothing to tell me what direction to go. I was really on my own. But in some incredible way, I felt the presence of God. And I sat there and I meditated. And after I meditated, I began to have a sense and I walked in a direction. And somehow I went right back to the Battery CP, the place I needed to go. Not only does God see in the dark, He takes our hands when we are lost in the dark and He leads us to the place He wants us to go. Before that, in 95, I was a pastor of a Cuban refugee camp in the jungles of Panama, and we had 2,200 Cubans in our camp. And at some point, they had begun to lose faith. They came in boats to go to America, and they were interdicted, and then they were there. And they rioted. And I've told you this story before when they rioted, but it was a really scary thing. And I watched from a distance that as the Black Hawk helicopters came in, the people were hiding under the big canopies. There was three-layer canopies, and they were under the brush in the canopies. And for all practical purposes, they were invisible to human eyes. But what they didn't know was that the Black Hawk helicopters had night visioning imaging, and it could see through the canopy all the way down to the ground, and it knew exactly where they were because it could see their heat signature. In fact, we have technology now that will allow the police to see in your house and they can tell what room you're in. We can see the footprints of somebody who was run out to shoot something at us and then run back into another house. We can trace it back. We have incredible technology that lets us see things that other people can't see. Well, from the air, the helicopter pilots were telling the Marines on the ground, the infantry, the MSG, Marines from the embassy, how to get the people who were on the ground. And they went in one at a time and pulled them out. And the people were like, "How did you know we were there?" Well, because we can see in the dark. You think it's dark and that you're hiding, but the dark is as night. The night is as light when you have the right equipment. It tells us something. David was hiding in the cave when he wrote this, trying to hide from Saul, trying to protect himself, and he may have thought he was all by himself. But he looked back on his life and he realized that he was never alone. God was always with him, even in the dark. There's 2 points. One, you can't hide from God. And two, God is always with you, even when you feel like you're living by yourself in the dark and there's nobody there for you. This is the lesson. When we're in the dark, When we're in one of those places in our lives when we have no guidance, when we feel deep pressure upon us and we don't know what to do, and we just want to disappear, God grabs us in his arms. He loves us and he enables us to find our way back to the light. God is light, and the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not destroy it. God's light shines into your life, and even though you might be living in darkness, he pulls you out of it. You just need to let him do that. May God richly bless you, my friend.